Okay, so now let's turn to page 288. Measures of central tendency. The key ideals here, the learning objectives are for you to understand a frequency table is used to show how often data occurs. Tally marks are made next to a list to record the data. Also, you will learn and understand that numerical data is often grouped in intervals. Let's look at the top of page 288. First paragraph, using a frequency table. A frequency table shows how often an item appears in a data set. The data is in the form of tally marks next to a list of items. Example 1. The sales manager at Montana Motors asked her sales staff to keep a record of the color of the cars that were chosen for test drives in 1 month. Then she combined the data to make the frequency table shown below. Montana Motors car color preferences. So look, white, black, red, green, silver, and some other color. Now, when you look at this, you can see that there are more white cars than any other color. And then it looked like silver has the least. Okay, so let's look at the steps. What the question they asked is this. What was the ratio of black cars driven to silver cars driven? Now notice, when you're writing down a ratio, you have to write it in the order that it was given in the question. So what was the ratio of black cars driven to silver cars driven? So black cars, there are 27. And silver cars, there are 9. So 27 will be your numerator. Silver cars, 9 will be your denominator, because you have to write it in the order that they gave it to you in the question. We're not comparing silver to black. We're comparing black to silver. That's important that you don't reverse that. Okay? Let's get a whiteboard. Okay, get rid of that. So we are comparing black cars to silver, or written another way, black cars to silver. Both are ratios. So you can see here in the book, step 2 says write the ratio and reduce to lowest term. So you have to look at this and see if it can be reduced. Of course, this can be reduced. 9 going to 20. What number going to both of these numbers evenly? Well, 9. 9 can go into 27 3 times. And 9 going to 9 1 time. So the ratio is 3 to 1. The ratio of black to silver is 3 to 1. You can also say that the black cars are 3 times as popular as the silver cars. Okay? So once you get your ratio set up, written in the order it was given in the question, look at it and see if it can be reduced. If so, do it. Let's look at the next example. It says numerical data is often grouped in intervals. The table below shows data grouped in intervals of 18, 24, 25 to 40, and so on. This way of presenting data is called a group frequency table. Example 2. Look at the bottom of 288. The table below shows the ages of the customers at Louise's Diner for a 4-day period. What percent of the customers were from 25 to 40 years old? Okay, let's look at the table. So if you look at the 25 to 40, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28 are between 25 and 48. We're counting that because we read the question. Make sure you understand what the question is asking. What percent of the customers were from 25 to 40 years old? Okay, so that's 28 when we count those, right? And some of you, I don't know. Let me do this. Some people may not. We do tally marks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you line it out, that represents 5. You see? That's all. Now, you may know it, but again, some people may not. So 5, and if I did this, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5 here plus what? 4. So that would be 9 tally marks, okay? Okay. So the rest of this, what they want to do, now that we know that the age group, let's erase this, that the age group that they're looking at, 25 to 40, has 28 tally marks, right? That's how many customers was for that age group. So what you're going to do is find the total for all the customers that came to the restaurant over a 3-day period. And you can see in the book, they added them all up for you. 6, 18, the 28 that we already counted, 10 plus 8. So the total customers that came was what? 70 over that 3-day period. But the targeted group that we're looking at and concerned about is that 25 to 40 group. It was 28 of 70. So now, let's look at number 2. Find the percent. The base is 70, total number of customers. The part is 28, the number of customers in the desired age group. Solve for the rate. Well, what did the question say? What percent of the customers were from 25 to 40 years old? And we already found out that the total number of customers is 70. So you could say 28 is blank percent of what? Of 70. You can put this in percent formula. Okay. Now look how they did it in the book. They said 28 over 70. And they reduced it. Well, what did they do in the book? Well, let me just put my, if I was going to make this a fraction, the way they did it was, what number goes in both of these evenly? Well, 7 go into 28 4 times. And 7 going to 70, what? 10 times. That's what they did. So that's 40%, 4 over 10. That's how they got it, right? Well, you can use the formula. Is over of. So I'm going to show you both ways. Equal percent over 100. And we're just going to plug in the values. We know this is going to be a cross multiplication and division problem. So 100 is always the same. Let's just put it there. 28 is the is. Put it there. The of is 70, of 70. Let's put it there. And the unknown, we don't know what percent it is. So we're going to just put a unknown variable. Okay, and as I've said many times, multiply the one without the variable first. So we're going to multiply what? 100 times 28. All right, and you know what that is, but let's put it in the calculator. Get rid of that. 100 times 28 equal 2,800. Okay, so we have our answer there. So 100 times 28 is, as we had in the calculator, let's write it in, 2,800. And then we're going to put the division symbol. And now we're going to multiply 70 times n, which we know is 70n. And we'll repeat this over and over if we have to. So you've seen this a number of times. So n equals, I think you got it by now. So n equals what? Well, 2,800 divided by 70. So let's put that in the calculator. $2,800 divided by 70 equals 40. And so 2,800 divided by 7, as we put it in the calculator, and answer was, let's get my pen back, 40. That's 40%. Okay, so we know it's 40%, and that's the same answer they got in your book. Okay, we're going to turn over now to page 290. So here, they want you to be able to calculate the mean, the median, and the mode. We're on page 290 at the top. Follow along in your book. Suppose you were asked how much money you usually spend on groceries in a week. Some weeks you may spend a great deal, other weeks much less. You would probably choose an amount in the middle to represent what you typically spend. This middle value is called an average or measure of central tendency. The most common type of average is the mean or the arithmetic average. So if we say an average, mean, okay, they are the same, okay? Let's look at example 3. In 5 football games, a team scored 14, 21, 3, 20, and 10 points. What is the mean or average score per game? Look at the steps. 1, add the values, and 2, divide by the number of items in the data set, which is exactly what they did. So 14 plus the 21 plus 3 plus 20 and you can be punching these in your calculator. Do so. Plus the what? 10. And when you put all these in the calculator, let's see, we'll bring it up. Let's see if I can bring that calculator up. Okay, so I wrote it out, but let me punch them in the calculator, and you can do the same with yours. So 14 plus 21 plus 3 and 20 plus what? 10. So we're adding them all together, equals 68, all right? So now, step 2 says divide by the number of items in the data set. So 14, 21, 3, 20, 10. How many numbers are there? 5. So then you're going to punch in 68 divided by 5. And the slash on this calculator, the / divided by 5 equals 13.6. So we know that's 68. I'm just writing it in here. 68. And we've already divided in the calculator. And so we went 68 divided by 5, which you've already done this. You did it in your calculator. And it gave us 13.6. Okay. So you could longhand this or punch it in the calculator, which I told you, you should really get used to using the calculator. So what we know here is we added up all the scores, 14, 21, 3, 20, and 10. How many scores are there? 5. Okay, so once to get the average or get the mean, add them up, divided by the total number. And of course, we got 13.6. Let's look at the next example. Because all those instructions tell you here was that they want you to use the calculator. It says another measure of average is the median. The median is the middle value in a set of data. Example 4. During a 7-hour period, a bookstore recorded the following numbers of sales. Find the median number of sales. All right, let's follow the instructions. Let's get a whiteboard. And well, just get rid of that. There we go. So, arrange, step 1, what we're going to do, arrange it by size. So in this case, they did it in lowest to greatest, which we call it ascending. Ascending order. 24, 28, 32, 36, 37, 43, and 48. Okay, so we arrange the values by size from lowest to greatest ascending order. Because if we would arrange them 48 to 24, that's descending. So 24 to 48, ascending order. So we put it in ascending order. Step 2 says what? Find the middle number. How many numbers we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So because we have 7 numbers, look. Here and 3 on the opposite side, right? So what's the middle number? 36. So if there's an even number value, the median is the mean of the middle two. But all right, I'm going to have to show you something different. So here we know the median of these 7 numbers is 36. All you're doing to get the median is get the middle number. That's the median. But that next sentence tells you, and I'll illustrate it on the whiteboard. If there's an even number of values, the median is the mean of the 2 middle numbers. And they show you that in example 5. So let's get a whiteboard. Or just let's clear this one. Okay? Well, let's just erase it because I still need it in this symbol. So we'll erase that. Okay? And now, so that was with an odd number. You just get the middle. Let's get a even number. So here, example 5, Robert has the following test scores in his math class: 90, 72, 88, 94, 91, and 80. What is the median score? How many scores are there? There's 6 scores, right? All right, let's write it out in ascending order. 72, 80, 88, 90, lost my whiteboard there for a second. 88, 90, 91, and what? 94. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Well, here we arrange the values. Step 1, arrange the values by size and find the middle. So the middle in this case is 2 numbers, 88 and 90. See, because we have an even number. So that's what you see in your book. That's your middle. So what do we do when we have an even number? Well, step 2, find the mean of the 2 middle values. The median score is 89. So take the 2 middle numbers and add those together and divide it by 2. So 88 plus 90, what they did in your book, 88 plus 90, what is it? 178. Put it in your calculator. And then you're going to go 178 divided by 2, right? Put this in your calculator as well. 178 divided by 2. And it should give you 89. So guess what? Your median with even number, the way we just showed you, as illustrated in your book, is 89. Okay, it continues. Bottom of page 290. The mode. The mode is the value that occurs most often in a set of data. You need to know these. Mean, median, mode for the test. It may show up. A set of data could have more than one mode if several items occur the same number of times. If each item of data occurs only once, there's no mode. Here's example 6. 6 weather stations recorded the following temperatures at 3 p.m. Let's get rid of that. 45 degrees, 44 degrees. We'll put the little degrees up there. 45 and 47. $46 degrees, and what? And the last one was what? 45. What is the mode of the data? Well, the temperature 45 degrees occurs most often 3 times. 45, 45, 45. So whatever occurs most often is your mode. 45, 45, 45. 45 shows up 3 times. The mode is 45. Yeah. So whatever occurs most often is the mode. End of this lesson on page 290.